And I'm going to be talking through this one thing that NLP will really help you with. So this one NLP thing that will help you with everything. And it's really come about because this week I'm delivering my neuro-linguistic programming practitioner course. This week I'm certifying 29 students in total in neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy and hypnotherapy, which is a really exciting day. I absolutely love delivering this training live. We do have online versions of the training which you can go through at your own pace, and then we also do an optional week's training program, which is really exciting. And yesterday we were talking about something that is so powerful. So as always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnotherapy trainer, breakthrough coach trainer and timeline therapist trainer. I do also train a couple of other modalities, including positive psychology, law of attraction, energy, EFT, and a couple of other bits and bobs. I regularly work with really exciting brands like BBC. I nearly said CBBC then. Not the CBBS, I promise. And like BBC, Glamour, Cosmopolitan, Marie Claire, Harper's Bazaar, giving expert comments on how our mind works, why our mind works the way it works, and behaviours and psychology, which is really exciting. So if you are live with me and you're joining me, do give me a wave. Let me know, what kind of coach are you, or what kind of coach are you wanting to become? Or are you just kind of dipping your toe in and you're thinking about it but not quite sure? So I wanted to talk to you about this one thing, this one NLP thing that will really help you with everything. This came about because yesterday in our NLP training that I'm delivering this week, we dived into something that is really powerful. And I just wanted to talk you through that and really kind of talk through why it's important and how it can help you in so many different areas of your life. So we think, and the way our minds work is that we tell ourselves stories about who we are, our place in the world, and we create our version of reality based on everything that's happened really in our lives up until now, right? And everything that continues to happen in our lives as well. Now, especially between our imprint period in life, so Morris Mass's development period, within the ages of 0 to 7, we're like sponges and we're literally soaking up everything around us, right? And this is really starting to form our model of the world, which then becomes our script that we read from and act in accordance with, right? So our model of the world, it really, a predominant time in our lives is between 0 to 7. So I've got 2 young children. I've got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I'm very conscious about the conversations that we have, about my behaviour in front of them, about the things that they're picking up from me, about the way that they perceive the world when they go off to school or to nursery, and when they come back and we have conversations about stuff. Because within this age, between this age of 0 to 7, we're taking in everything that we can see other people do, especially those significant in our lives, like our parents and our caregivers, our teachers, our friends, the things that we watch on TV. And these kind of form what's called our model of the world, like our script, right? So we create our version of reality based on the model of the world, right? And this is like the building blocks of how we believe the world is, how we believe, and where we think of our place in the world, and how we perceive ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the world, what we believe about what's possible for us as well. And we create this version of reality, and what happens is we have this perception in our minds, and then we project that out into the world, which leads to our behaviors, which leads to our outcomes in life. Right? So everything that we do is based on this script that we're reading and acting in accordance with. So this script really is like our subconscious mind, right? So the memories that we've had, the decisions that we've made or that we've seen other people make, our personality types, our values, our beliefs, the things that we believe to be true or the things that we believe to not be true. Also, the values that we have, so the things that are really important to us, whether we're aware of this or not, we are always acting in accordance with this, okay? So we're always reading from the script and then acting as if, right? But this script isn't necessarily the truth, right? What sometimes, and in fact, in every case, right? Because everybody has a different model of the world. We create this distorted perception of reality. So what happens if it's not supporting us, right? What happens if our script becomes outdated and it doesn't support us to get the outcomes that we want? What do we do then? So yesterday within our training, we were working on releasing limiting beliefs. So when we are telling ourselves certain stories about our place in the world and who we are, they're not always good stories, right? Sometimes they're empowering, sometimes they're disempowering, sometimes they're just neutral. But what happens if you've got a disempowering story that you're constantly telling yourself, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, right? And what I mean by this is, in my last business, so before I had this business, I had another business. I had a fashion business, and we had massive growth plans. So our 5-year projection was to turn over just short of $1 million. We had a team of fashion consultants, and we were just getting investment ready. And if you'd have come to me at that time, you would have thought I was really confident. Everyone told me I was confident. I won pitching awards. I'd pitch and, get really good feedback. I was a really confident person, or so I thought. However, I was reading from this script that was telling me I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't worthy of having the success that I'd created in my life. So what do you think happened then? I sabotaged, right? Because remember what I said, we create this model of the world, which is like our script that we're reading from. So we've got this perception in our minds of our place in the world and so on. And we then project this out into the world, which leads to our behaviors. So the story that I was telling myself, I wasn't really aware of it, right? But the story that I was telling myself was, I'm not worthy of having this success. And so I projected out that, which led to my behavior, which led to me saying to myself, I didn't want the business anymore. And I used to find myself, so for me, it manifested in behavior and in getting to my office, sitting there in front of my desk and just staring at the wall. Like I couldn't physically, like I just felt like I had this brick wall in front of me. I had no idea it was a limiting belief, but it felt very physical and I just could not move through it, right? So that was the script that I was reading from, that was projecting, that was leading to this behavior of self-sabotage. We see this all the time in like relationships, or when people make money, or, like they talk about people who win the lottery, how they don't stay rich for very long, right? It's because they're reading from this script that isn't in alignment with what's in their reality. So then it changes the reality through their behaviors, and it's called self-sabotage, right? That's what self-sabotage is. Or imposter syndrome, right? Imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, sabotaging behaviors, arguments, things like spending too much money addictions, gambling, clothing addictions, shopping addictions. That's the one I was looking for. All of these behaviors are examples of how limiting beliefs can manifest and cause you to self-sabotage. Let me know as well if any of this is resonating. Hi Rizwana, if any of this is resonating or making any sense, do give me a wave and let me know, because it's helpful to know as well that this is helpful for you. So some of the things that our students yesterday were working on, and these all resonate with me as well. Like when I had that business, I had massive limiting beliefs around not being good enough and not being worthy of success. As I said, I didn't know that was what was happening until I trained in neuro-linguistic programming. And that's when I understood that is what had happened. So the things that our students worked on yesterday was things like money is hard to make. I'm not good enough to have coaching clients. I'm not worthy of having success. I cannot do sales. I cannot market myself and be visible. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. So all of these things are being read from their script, or was being read from their scripts, because yesterday they released them and removed them. They were being read from their scripts, which meant that they were then projecting and leading to their behaviors, which meant they weren't getting coaching clients, or some of them already have existing some of them already had existing coaching businesses and are now kind of training to get more tools and techniques. Some of them are starting from completely new, but had limiting beliefs around being visible and marketing. And these are so common. Like we worked on these yesterday, but these things are things that we work on every single time that we do, that I train neuro-linguistic programming. They are so common, and I experience them as well. And the reason why these kinds of things are so common is because as we're growing up, Kapika says it's difficult to understand your English and speaking so fast. I do apologise, Kapika. Am I going too fast for everybody? I get so excited about this stuff that I just... So I do appreciate that I am speaking fast. So let me know if I am speaking too fast for everybody. Do let me know, and I do apologise, Kapika. So the reason why we have these beliefs is because everything that we see, as I said earlier, like our memories, our decisions, the decisions we've seen other people make, the values that we have, the beliefs that we have, and the things that we see in the media. So I do a lot of work with the media. So I do a lot of work with places like Elle Magazine, Cosmopolitan, Marie Claire, Harper's Bazaar. I do lots of work with the media. However, there are some things that I refuse to comment on. So for example, yesterday, I got a request to comment on why certain eye colours are more attractive than others. Like, seriously? I'm not commenting on that. That's just ridiculous, right? So the reason why we have these beliefs, and part of it is because of the stuff we see in the media as well. Like, it's just it all builds up and creates this distorted version of reality, which we then project out into the world, which leads to our behaviors. So these beliefs then that we create as we grow up, they can distort the meaning of things. They can distort the events and situations. And what happens is our brain only sees things in our reality that backs up these limiting beliefs, right? So whatever we believe, whether we're aware of it or not, there's something called the reticular activating system, and that's noticing everything in our reality. It's the building blocks of it. It's building the blocks of our reality to notice this distorted perception of, for example, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not able to do that. Okay, so let's say someone has grown up, and as they were growing up, they saw the parents arguing about money. So then it comes to them having their own coaching business, and they're finding it really difficult to get clients, right? When you dive deeper into this and become really curious about what you're reading from your script and what you're projecting from your script, you might discover that actually this experience, you created this limiting belief from this experience of growing up, right? So it's not the truth. It's just a distorted version of what you believe to be true, and you're now projecting that out, which is causing you to not get coaching clients, for example, right? Because you believe that money perhaps is the root of all evil, right? And this is really common. Unfortunately, this is a really common one. You know, as you grow up, you see something, or your parents say something to you about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. You see your parents arguing about money. It creates this limiting belief of money is the root of all evil, or making money is hard. That was definitely one of mine. You know, this belief has created this distorted perception, which you're then acting in accordance with, right? So if you've got that belief, what do you think your behavior is going to be like? Right? Do you think you're going to get the results that you want? So this is the main reason why when people set goals, they don't achieve them. If you're working towards something and you're finding it really difficult, or there's lots of friction, this is why. It's because there's a limiting belief, and you're reading from this script, this story that you're telling yourself, this distorted version of reality, and you're acting in accordance with that, even if you're not aware of it. So, you know, it's just a classic form of self-sabotage. It's self-sabotage, it's imposter syndrome. All of these things manifest when people have got limiting beliefs. And the sad truth is that this is the narrative for so many people, and it doesn't have to be this way. So yesterday, when we came to the end of working with limiting beliefs with our students released and changed their scripts in order to change their behaviours and the outcomes that they're getting when they're setting goals and working towards things that they want to do. And you could really see it in their faces. Like, they looked brighter, they were more excited, they were chirpier. You could see that they'd released and they'd broken through. And the beauty of the Neuro-Linguistic Programming Practitioner course is that it doesn't just teach you how to be an exceptional coach and use these things with your clients. It also supports you to experience the breakthroughs firsthand too. And that in itself will not only help you be an exceptional coach, and release anything that's holding you back, it will also help you to make these changes and to be able to talk to your clients about the power of NLP because you've experienced it firsthand. So that was the one thing that will help you, the one NLP thing that will help you with everything. When we become really curious about the story and the script that we're reading from and how we're creating our perceptions and then how we're projecting that out into the world, we can make so many changes in our lives for the better. So as always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnosis trainer, breakthrough coach trainer, and timeline therapist trainer. If you are on Instagram with me, you can find our free NLP guide over in the link in the bio. And if you're on Facebook with me, you can find the free NLP guide to download in the link in the description. Within that, I'm diving even further into what NLP is and how the mind works and a bit more about behaviours and communication. So you'll find that really helpful. It's completely free. If you're on Instagram with me, you can find it in the link in my profile. And if you're on Facebook with me, you can find it in the link in the description. And if you're listening to this on the podcast on repeat, you'll be able to find it in the show notes as well. So have an amazing day, and I'll catch up with you all soon.